welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome to what is a huge match for Barça this Sunday. We will face Atletico Madrid at the Olympic Stadium and the big question is, can we follow up our win over Porto in midweek in the Champions League? That was a massive night for us. Can that be a catalyst for improvement or will it be one step forward and two big steps back? We are going to find out exactly what Barça are made of here, coming up against a really strong Atletico Madrid side, and we're going to be talking all about the game here today and about Xavi's all-important starting lineup. It is coming your way. So let's do it. Because indeed, guys, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that Barca showed some element of improvement against Porto. You know, it still wasn't overly convincing by any means. There's still plenty of work, I feel, that we need to do in this team. But we did get the job done. We got the win. And that was vital there for our confidence, especially now coming into a game like this. And I think the question is going to be, can we take another step now? Can we actually improve upon again what we saw against Porto? Can we squeeze that bit more out of our game? Because honestly, guys, I think we'll need to. Against Atletico Madrid, for me, they will cause us even more problems. They are an even stronger team, especially on the defensive side of things too, and we are going to need to step up even more to challenge them here and to get the kind of result we want. Because when you're looking at the league table, this is how we stand right now, and Atleti, they're already ahead of us in the league. They're already in third place, and they have a game in hand, which means that right here, if they were to win on Sunday, there would potentially already be a 6-point gap between us if they were to win as well that game in hand. And that is very dangerous territory to be in there. And that's even before you start looking at Girona and Real Madrid even further up the league. So Barca here, they can't afford a bad result. We are already in a precarious position in the league. We have to step up. We have to raise our game. We have to get a result here. Make no mistake. And I think that may indeed explain why we saw this morning Joan Laporta, the Barca president there, actually visit the players in the dressing room. He made a special trip there down to encourage them, to support them here ahead of this game. And I think ultimately to say and hammer home here, this is a big one. It is such an important and pivotal game in our season. And Xavi speaking there in his press conference, it very much felt the same way. Yes, we were happy with what we did against Porto. Yes, we're relieved that we're through in the Champions League. But now, back to league action. This is so key for us here. And of course, so much of the attention, it's going to be again on Joao Felix. He was the match winner in midweek. He could have scored more than one goal in that game. He was excellent in terms of his positioning. He was involved a lot in our attacking play, and of course when he scored there, pointing and grabbing the Barca crest, you get the feeling that he's very much at home here. And even throughout the week he's been saying, look, I'd love to stay here, this is where I want to be, I want to make the move permanent from Atletico Madrid. And of course he's playing this weekend against that very team, and we've heard very publicly from lots of people within Atletico Madrid. We spoke yesterday about the comments of Antoine Griezmann about Joao Felix there maybe becoming tired at Atletico Madrid, not really trying to get the best out of his time there. We've heard from Simeone too, Saul, Atletico's president. The list goes on really. Atleti have been talking non-stop about Joao Felix, but I think all they've done in what they've said about him, in the way they've said it, they've only fueled the fire that's within him ahead of this game. Every single one of those words should be used there by Joao as motivation to go out there and prove to them what he can be. Because I thought it was so interesting yesterday when Joao Felix came out and said, and actually did some talking of his own when speaking about the style of play at Barca in contrast to Atleti. He said, I definitely prefer Barcelona's style of play. And if you ask all the other players, even those at Atletico, they would all prefer to play more attacking. That's for sure. He said if they don't answer in that way, they are lying. And I think tomorrow, guys, keep a close eye on Joao Felix. I would absolutely love it if it was his game, if it was his moment and his vindication. However, guys, one of the other really important aspects, of course, ahead of any big game, any match that's going to be decided by small margins, the big question is going to be, what's the lineup going to be? What is Xavi going to do in this game? And especially looking at the game against Porto, is there anything in that team that you would change? You know, how many changes would you make if you were going to make them? And will the game be played out in a similar way here against Atletico Madrid? And of course, one of the players that we thought may be about to return was Marc-Andre ter Stegen, but but he won't be ready. He is not going to be in the squad this weekend. His recovery there is taking a little bit longer than was expected, and you've got to say again right here, guys, what an opportunity for Iñaki Peña to be involved in a game like this, just like the one against Porto. That in itself was incredible, and to perform the way he did against Porto in the Champions League was outstanding, and now to get the chance to follow that up again with a home game here in La Liga against Atletico Madrid, again with the stakes so high, this is what he's dreamed about. He has waited for games and experiences like this, and I hope he grabs it with both hands again. I have trust in him, and I'm so excited to see again how he handles this kind of moment. But I did also think it was really interesting today, looking at what's been said over the past few days and throughout the season, Araujo coming out today and saying, I don't like to play as a right-back. I would much prefer to be playing as a centre-back in this team. And I thought that was really interesting, the timing as well of that. And honestly, guys, I'm quite glad that he said it, because I know for a fact that he would do whatever was needed for the team. I don't doubt that with Araujo. If we need him to play at right-back, if Xavi asked him to, he's going to do it, no doubt about that. But I also think here at some point, he's kind of going to get tired of it, because obviously we've heard a lot from Koundé that he doesn't want to play there and that he'd rather be at centre-back, and now it seems as though, well, Koundé wants to play at centre-back, so Araujo has to go out there, and I don't really feel like that's fair. We said before that how good Araujo is. He is our best centre-back, one of the best in the world. He has to play there, and I don't think Araujo is really going to stand too much longer always being the one to be shifted out to right-back this season. You know, Koundé, of course, has made his preference clear, and I just think Araujo here is thinking, okay, Koundé's put his foot down. That is exactly now what I've got to do. So what happens from here? That's the big question now for Xavi. What does he do in his back line? Now, if it was me, honestly, guys, I think Koundé's more suited. If we're going to play with that conservative back line, if we're going to go with a bit more solidity, which in a game like this, I think we should, Koundé is a much better fit at right back with Araujo then at centre back. That for me is stronger than what we saw against Porto. And then you could play Inigo there, then you could play Cancelo again at left back. So that for me would be my defensive line, but I don't think Xavi's going to do that. I think Xavi is still going to stick with Araujo, but I'm not sure though that Koundé will play. I wouldn't be surprised this weekend that if Christensen comes back at centre-back alongside Inigo Martinez, who's been brilliant, and again, Cancelo again looking to play in that left-back role, looking to be the free man, and looking to create on that left side, just as he did against Porto, and then you got the midfield, and I don't think there's any need to change in that area. Frenkie de Jong, Gundogan, Pedri, you know, they covered a lot of ground against Porto. They're going to have to do the same against Atletico Madrid. It's going to be a battle in there. It's going to be intense. They're going to work you hard, and those three players there are fully capable of rising to the challenge. But what happens in attack? That's also a big question here, because like I say, against Porto, Lewandowski wasn't great, was he? I did feel as though it was a poor game from him. You know, it was a big one for us, but he didn't really show up. And of course, I don't think there's any suggestion here that he's not going to be involved in this game. It would be a huge shock if he wasn't against Atletico, but you want more. You want to see him there, getting into the area, getting into the danger zone frequently, and hopefully being on the receiving end of opportunities coming his way that he can turn into goals. So I expect Lewandowski to start down the middle. Of course, Joao Felix is going to be there alongside him. Let's hope for a bit more link-up play maybe between those two as well. But then on the right, it's a tough call for Xavi, because did Rafinha do enough against Porto to warrant another start? I'm not really sure he did. You've got Lamine Yamal waiting for an opportunity. This game could suit him well. I could see him starting in this game. But I also think, guys, as well, don't forget Ferran Torres. He had a very, very good game in this game last season against Atleti at home when he scored the winning goal in that game. So Ferran, I think, will start to enter Xavi's mind. Maybe we could line up with all three of them, but that would be quite a narrow attack. So maybe it might be Yamal. Maybe he might get a huge chance here, starting against Atletico Madrid. And is that team right there capable of getting the job done? Is it capable there of stepping it up another gear, raising the level that we started to see against Porto, and delivering a massive performance against Atletico Madrid? Well, here's what you think, because these are the predictions ahead of the game on Sunday. And again, there's quite a few predictions going the way of Atletico Madrid winning this game, Barça drawing it as well, but the majority they're opting for a very slender win by a 1-goal margin, just as we saw in midweek. Can Barça again find a way through? Can Barça again find a way of getting the result that we so desperately need? We're going to find out. Only time game is going to tell us with this team. Have we really improved? Can we really make strides this season? This game will tell us much. This game will show us who Barça really are. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. What are your predictions? What are you expecting on Sunday? I will see you after the game, when I hope we're celebrating, when I hope it's a big match performance. Let's see what the team do, and let's have full faith that they can deliver. I will catch you soon, guys, with lots more coming your way. But until next time, as always, Visca, El Barça.